Okay, so today on Olivia's video, we're making peppermint soap. Here's what it looks like, the finished product. And so what you want to do first is you're going to put some white soap in your mold here. We bought the white soap. It's called Milk and Pour. It's goat's milk. And you can get it from New Directions online. This is where we got all of our products from because it's all natural. So you want to pour about 8 ounces of white in here, and then you're going to do 8 ounces of red. Now Olivia and I, we use this all natural mica, but if you didn't have all natural mica, if you wanted to, you could still do your white soap and just put a few drops of red food coloring in. So first you do your white layer, then you do your red layer, you let it cool, and then it's going to come out as this. It's going to look like this. And then what Olivia and I did is we took our knife and we're just going to cut it up into nice chunks. You want nice small chunks, okay? So before we put that back in, next what we're going to do is we're going to take our heat-proof container. We're going to cut up our white Milk and Pour soap, and we're going to put it in the microwave to melt it. To melt it in the microwave, you're going to put it on 30-minute burst. As soon as it comes out, after 30 seconds, sorry, not 30 minutes, 30 seconds, you're going to want to make sure you stir it, okay, so that it, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to burn your Milk and Pour soap. So after 30 seconds, get your spoon, stir it to make sure you try to get all the clumps out of it, and then you're going to have the perfect Milk and Pour soap. So let's go put this in the microwave. As you can see, I'm just cutting it up smally so that it microwaves a lot nicer. So let's go put this in the microwave for 30. What we're going to do is we're going to try to get 8 ounces of this white Milk and Pour soap melted. "30 seconds. Press start. Let's go get it. It's been in for 30 seconds. You can see it's still pretty chunky. So we're going to put it back after we've stirred it for another 30 seconds. Okay, so now we've done 3 bursts of 30 seconds each for 90 seconds in total. See the nice, no chunks? Okay, so next steps are we're going to pour it into our mold. We just got this mold at Canadian Tire. It was on sale, like $4.99. Then you're going to take some rubbing alcohol. See the bubbles here now? We want to get rid of those bubbles so your second layer adheres to it, sorry. See the bubbles are all gone? Great. Now right away, as fast as we can, we're going to take our clear Milk and Pour soap. We're going to cut it up, and we're going to get it into this container. Kind of want to have this done right away. We just were a little bit slow because of the video. You want to have this ready to go in the microwave, and again, you're going to do 30-second burst. Again, you're going to do 8 ounces of this. As I showed you earlier, it comes from New Directions. It comes in this kind of a container. Oh, it's not so easy to get out. Felt it was easy the first time. I'm trying to move really quickly here, but actually we don't have to be so quick because our first layer is going to cool before you can put your second layer in. So your white layer, which Livy will show you, is in the mold right now. It doesn't take long to cool, but you do want it to cool a little bit before you put this layer on top, okay? So again, we're kind of, we're going again for the 8 ounces, which is not on here. So as you know, 8 ounces is a cup, okay? So we're using our measuring cups at home because again, this is all natural. There's nothing in here that's going to hurt you, but we make sure we clean them really well with hot water. Okay, so we're going to take this over and we're going to do the 30-second burst. So now it's all beautifully melted. Something I forgot to tell you is that when I made up these chunks to get the beautiful Christmas scent, I used my essential peppermint oil, a half a teaspoon. So I used a half a teaspoon for this red, a half for the white. Now I'm using a half for the clear. Okay, it will have a beautiful Christmas scent. Now this is where my beautiful mica, just going to use a little bit. I don't measure, but just a little bit. Then we're going to get our little mini mixer. Okay, and so now we're just going to mix that mica in there. Look at see that beautiful red sheen on it. Stir it up really, really well. Okay, now we're going to take our beautiful red mixture. We're going to mix it on top of our white. Isn't that pretty? And now Olivia's going to take our alcohol that we got from the drugstore. We don't want any of those bubbles in there. So she's going to spritz it. So we're going to let that cool for about 20-30 seconds, and then we're going to take our chunks, and we're going to, not yet, once that's cool, we're going to take our chunks and we're going to put it on top of that. So we'll be back in 30 seconds. So while the red is cooling, what we thought we'd do is, we know we need one more, we're going to put this sprinkled stuff on top here, and then we're going to have a clear layer. So Olivia's just cutting up our clear layer for us right now so that when it's cooled, we can be ready to go. Okay, so now we've got the clear. We're just getting ready ahead of time. Again, we've got 8 ounces. We're going to take it over to the microwave and do our 30-second burst. So I'm just cutting these up into really small chunks so that they're really pretty when we're done. Then I'm going to take them and sprinkle them really gently on top of my soap, because you can see what's underneath has already kind of settled a little bit, and I don't want to puncture it. So we'll just make sure you sprinkle it, and it's nice when you cut it small because it can fit. Okay, excuse me, Liv, I can't see. Okay, so we have all of our sprinkles here on top. Now what we want to do is that clear layer we did. Oh, we don't have enough. You want to get more. You want to put it on top. So we're going to go melt some more. Isn't that pretty? So I'm just going to melt even a little bit more, Olivia. It's really a little bit blurry there, isn't it? Originally I had said we should melt about 8 ounces, but because it was cut up in chunks, it didn't look like it was 8 ounces. So you might need a little more or less. Just have to play with it. Okay, so now we're all done melting the clear, as you can see. So now we're ready for our spray. Get all those bubbles out. Next is our white layer, and then our beautiful soap is done. So let's start cutting up some white. And for the final steps, we have our white. Again, we're pretty much, well, actually we got more like 16 ounces, but when it melts, it'll probably melt down to say 10. So let's melt it, 30-second burst, don't forget. Okay, there's a lot of layers to this recipe, and unfortunately when I left you the last time I was doing a white layer, only because we'd forgotten about our red layer. So we went back to the microwave, quickly did our red layer, which is just our clear soap with our bit of mica and our peppermint oil to give it a beautiful Christmas scent. See that beautiful, can you get that, Liv? That beautiful red color? Poof, that peppermint's real strong. As you can see now, this is solidified a little, not too much, but a little. Then we pour that right over top. Get it beautiful. Oh wow, we really got a lot of red. I don't know where we're gonna have room for a white. Ooh. Okay, don't forget to spray it with your rubbing alcohol. My recommendation would be to measure. Olivia and I did not, but see, we only have a tiny bit left for a white. So anyway, it'll be interesting. Okay, we're at our final phase. We certainly don't have a lot of room left over for our white, which is kind of the icing on the cake. So again, I would remind you to measure. Don't do what we did. Just gonna have a small layer of white at this rate. You want it to have kind of a cakey, battery-like look, similar to as if you're baking a cake. So when it's solidifying, you just want to take your spoon and bring it in. Unfortunately, we didn't wait long enough. You can see a little bit of red is melting in with the white, but that's okay. It's homemade. You gotta go with the flow. Okay, so when that's done, we're going to take our sprinkles and we would sprinkle our sprinkles on top. We're not at that stage yet. But here's our finished product. So then we're going to take it out of our mold. Now this is not solidified, so I'm just going to do one cut for you to see, and then I'm going to put it back in. Take your knife. What I would normally do is cut in the middle and then work my way back. Actually, I think I will. You can see it's still really soft. It's a little bit soon to be cutting it, but we want to just show it to you. Isn't that beautiful? So let's cut a layer of it. So we would cut our soaps to about here. And there's our beautiful Christmas soap. Isn't that pretty to give as a gift on Christmas? Well, Livy and I wish you both a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.